How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Terminator Issue 4. And right off the bat, this is a pretty good one. I was a little worried because the first issue of Terminator was a really solid standalone story. Then we got 2 issues in Vietnam which were just okay. And I'd really loved the concept of this book, the idea that Terminators would go all throughout the timeline trying to manipulate things is a perfect setup for an anthology. Vietnam was just kind of so-so and I didn't really see the point of what was going on. Yeah, we're trying to save one specific guy from a Terminator, but who is he and why does it matter? Well, now we're actually doing a much better story. The Terminator's on a submarine, and Russia during the Cold War has somehow gotten a hold of a Terminator chip, and they want to get it back to Russia, which, needless to say, could change the course of history. So we're going to get Terminators trying to intervene. The idea that there's a submarine isolated underwater, they're getting bombarded by missiles and trying to outrun them, all the while the idea that what they think is an American spy is on board, but we all know better, that is some good claustrophobic tension, and we can clearly see the point of the story and the stakes. This one came out a lot better than those last two, and we're back to being a one-shot with the vague promise that maybe all these might connect. This is pivoting back in the right direction, and I believe that the first trade paperback is going to be 5 issues long, so I have high hopes for issue 5. That should mean that it's a one-shot, but also if these stories connect, that might be a bit of a climax there. So overall, this book got back to being really good, and I am super looking forward to 5. So overall, this is a fun story, but if you want to see a little bit more about it, I'll switch to the close-up camera. I'll show you guys some of the story and some of the art. I'll be avoiding major spoilers, but if you want a bit of a deeper dive, then let's go ahead and switch over to the close-up camera. Alright, here we are inside the castle taking a closer look at Terminator Issue 4. Right off the bat, we have this cover, which, I mean, I get what we're going for. It's the submarine underwater and we get the reflection of the Terminator's face in it. It's kinda cool, but I don't know, it just kinda makes the Terminator look like a cone head. Whatever. Dynamite Comics Issue 4, price of $4.99. Crack it open to see the credits for the main part, Wiskey Dark, written by Declan Shalvey, with art by Lorenzo Re. And then after that, we get into the main part of the story proper. Now, all that being said, I don't want to do any major spoilers, but I do want to hop in, take a bit of a look at the story and the art, and say my piece on a few plot points, but I won't go anywhere towards the end, and since there is some twists and turns in this one, it may be a little bit brief. Anyway, we open up in 1961 with this Russian submarine going through the ocean, and we get narrations from the captain's log. They're hit with this mysterious explosion, and they begin to suspect that something is on their tail. We get another cool portrait of the submarine here with the in-comic credit panel, but we get to see our captain character there, and he's talking to his crew, and they're wondering what's found them. They're picking up nothing on the radar, yet they know something's firing at them and they don't really know what it is. And then we get this guy, this mysterious figure that they've been hired to transport, and they only know that he has to get back to Russia at all cost, and the two have a bit of a feud between them, a bit of a rival for power. Well, it's later and in the captain's quarters, and the guy comes in to see him and says, hey, look, if something happens to me, you should know what we're dealing with, and that's this, a mysterious electronic component that absolutely has to get back to Russia, and we as an audience might be able to guess what it is. But he also says that he has a bit of a fear that there is a spy on board. Now, they say the spy is American, but again, we as an audience know it might not exactly be. Well, another explosion, this one getting really, really close, sends them all into a bit of a fit, and we even get a moment where the captain blinds himself because he happened to be looking right out at it, and then that's where we're going to get things heating up in the struggle for power, the paranoia, and wondering who's the spy. And as I said, I don't want to go too far into the story, but I do want to assure you there is some Terminator action towards the end. Overall, the main part part of this book was really good. I loved that atmosphere, that being trapped underwater, something is hunting you just outside, and that paranoia that someone on the ship may not be who he seems. It's a really good place to reinvent the Terminator stuff, and unlike the past issues, we can clearly see what the Terminator's up to, and we really do get the plot of the story a lot better than just, oh, Terminator wants to kill some random person. I have to say, this is probably the best issue since the first one, and I really do like just these single anthologies better. Although that being said, if we flip to the back, we can see that the next issue actually takes place the same year, so I'm wondering if these are going to weave and cross over and intertwine. As well as other stuff that are in this book, we do have the backup story, Buried Alive, which I think I'll probably just touch on in full when we do issue 5, because it is hard to remember what's going on with 2 pages every month. But even though we are at issue 4, we still do have a bunch of variant covers. Dynamite's really going crazy with these. But overall, I really did like issue 4, definitely recommend it, and this is really the series hitting that stride of Terminators going all throughout the timeline, looking like different people, and achieving a bunch of different missions. This is what the series does really well, and I can definitely recommend this one. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Terminator playlist where you can see the past issues of this comic. Anyway, have a good day. See you guys again very, very soon. Playlist here. Have a good day now.